Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mind Your Mission podcast with Liz and Erin. We're so excited today. We announced our pregnancy in the last episode, so if you missed that, go and check out that. And this week, we're going to be talking all about the first trimester and how that's been for us, because it's definitely been a wild ride.
Yeah, so I guess I'll start out by talking about how I prepared for the first trimester this go around because it was very different than last time. I didn't know what to expect last time. Nobody does. I mean, you don't really have any expectations other than what you hear on the internet or from family and friends, but I would say this time going into it, I had better vitamins that I was taking to start. Like, we'll just start real practical here. Like, I had been taking a postnatal vitamin still since I was still breastfeeding, and so I switched to a prenatal about a month before getting pregnant. And then I also just on the daily take magnesium glycinate and omega-3, a probiotic, and then this time around going into pregnancy, I knew that I didn't want to rely on medication for nausea as heavily as I did the first time. I was on medication for a long time. I was on Zofran, and then towards the end, I finally switched to the Unisom and B6. And so this time around, I knew that didn't want to do that, but I found a supplement. Most of my supplements come from We Heart Nutrition. It's a brand that it's a Christian-owned, America's strong company that I love, but they just came out with a new supplement that's called Wholesome Balance, and it's ginger, B6, turmeric, saffron, I think a few other things. But the ginger B6, I think, has made a huge difference. Obviously, every pregnancy is different and there's a lot of different factors, but I swear that when I take that supplement, I feel better even if I wasn't feeling bad. So that's just to start a real practical thing. I was taking those about a month before trying, and it, I think, has made a huge difference because been taking them the whole time and I haven't needed any medication. So another thing I did in preparing for first trimester was I prepped a bunch of meals, and we actually ate one of them tonight, and I have to say it was only the second out of 10 that we have actually eaten, and so I didn't actually use them first trimester because they were all healthy meals. And of course, what doesn't sound good first trimester? Healthy meals, unfortunately. So I'm just now eating them, and I'm like, this is too healthy, man. Like, tonight we had like broccoli chicken and sweet potato casserole, which sounds great, but it's too healthy. So anyway, I did that. I'm glad I did. It made me feel good going into first trimester, but you know, I just still couldn't kick that feeling of wanting fast food and fried food all the time. Let's see. This is the same. This was the same with my last pregnancy, but when I first found out I was pregnant, I was feeling great. Everything sounded good. With food, when I first find out that I'm pregnant, like I hear a food and I'm like, wow, that sounds so good. I need to have that now. So like the first few things that happened to me were sushi. So like one day, like after work, I went to the store and was just like, not like raw fish sushi, but like California rolls. I just needed a California roll after work one day, so I went to the grocery store and got a California roll. Um, for some reason, both pregnancies now, hot dogs, like Costco hot dogs. I
Oh,
just want a
yeah.
hot dog. They
Hot
just
dog
sound
sounds
great.
great.
Yeah, which is so weird. Like, I'm not
Mhm.
usually a hot dog person. But anyway, so those first couple weeks, things just sound great. I feel great physically, lots of energy. And then week 7 hits, and
Oh, week 7.
it's just, and I literally had told people, my mindset going into all this was pretty, I think it set me up well for success because my mindset going in was I'm hoping for the best, but expecting the worst because last time it was really hard. And this time I knew what that was like. And I knew that week 7, last time, things flipped and I started feeling rough. And so this time week 7 came around and yep, same thing. Luckily, my mom had come for she's a teacher and she came for her spring break when I was around 8 weeks pregnant. And so that was one of the weeks that I was working the afternoon shift, which was particularly hard because the morning I'd be hanging out with Weston and still have to get up at the same time because he wakes up at 6:30. And so I'm so thankful I had her because at 12 o'clock when Weston went down for a nap, I also went down for a short nap before I had to leave for work at 1. And then also she was doing a lot of the cooking for our family too. And so I'd come home late at night and not have to like stress about that. And so I'm really thankful just timing wise how that worked out because it was right when I was starting to feel rough. And I will say going to talk about throwing up for a minute here, Liz, so hang in
Okay,
there.
I'll turn the volume down.
But I have only thrown up twice this pregnancy, and when I did, both times I really pinpointed the cause, and it, like last time I just threw up, and it would help to throw up, and so I almost wanted to throw up, and so I just kind of never thought twice about it. But this time, the 2 times that I threw up was, one, I had been really craving Costco pizza, which is, greasy, carbs, not a lot of good in Costco pizza. And so I ate it, hadn't eaten anything else in a while, and immediately after went up and took a shower and just threw it all up. And the second time I threw up was in the afternoon, and it was after I hadn't eaten anything for most of the morning. And so between the two things, I quickly learned, and when my mom left, I decided I just needed to take control and not be a victim to it, because otherwise you'll just spiral. But I realized that I couldn't just eat carbs, which that's the only thing that sounds good. I needed to eat protein. And then I realized that I needed to eat very frequently. So even if I didn't feel like it, I would try to eat either cheese or a meat stick pretty much every hour. And that's also the same time that I went to Virginia for 3 weeks for a training for class that I had to go to. And so the timing was good because I intentionally got those snacks and packed them for the trip. And then in class, we had a break every hour. And so every hour I was forcing myself to either eat a meat stick, or in that case, I had some, what are they called? I don't know, protein bars that I would eat. And so I never felt like eating those things, and they just never sounded good, but I would eat them and I felt a lot better. And then that enabled me to be able to eat more down the line because I wasn't feeling nauseous, because I realized that once you start feeling nauseous, it's already too late. So anyway, those things, they're not a one size fits all fix, but, they've gotten me through to this point, and I'm very thankful that I just decided to keep moving, because I also think that being down at the class in Yorktown, Virginia, I was seeing friends, I was seeing family, and I was distracted. I was outside every day. That's another big thing I learned, is that being outside versus just laying around. I always feel better once I've had some sunshine and fresh air. I also think my body feels better when I'm being active. Last time I sat on the couch and didn't do anything active, and so I'll talk a little bit more about working out in a minute, but yeah, I feel like those are the basic things. I got back from Yorktown, and then I was pretty much in the second trimester already. And I will say, this first trimester for me has absolutely flown by. And it helps obviously that first trimester starts when you started your last period. And so those first 5, 6, up to 7 weeks are really not, you don't feel pregnant. And so you get to 13 weeks pretty quick, but still it flew by. And I was thinking about doing that reel where it's I swear 16 was yesterday. And then I was like, wait, 16 weeks I'm pregnant? I'm 16 weeks pregnant next week. How, when did that happen? So anyway, those are the basic things. Liz, if you want to kind of give the same rundown, and then I'll go on with some other stuff.
Yes, of course. This is my first pregnancy. So Erin's on her second, I'm on her first. And I feel like it has hit me like a truck. I underestimated the first trimester. I thought people were just being dramatic. I was like, I'll be okay. And I've always been I guess, kind of like a tough cookie. I don't know if that's the right word to say, but being sick and stuff has never really bothered me. I was like, I'll be fine. But oh, no. Nothing has hit me harder than this first trimester of pregnancy. And I was reading this article on it. I don't know if it's true. It was some study by some college. And it was talking about morning sickness, but it was talking about how this GD15 hormone can make you really sick, especially if you haven't been exposed to it before. So it was saying sometimes first-time pregnancies, I don't know if anyone has experienced this. This is only my first one. Can be worse because you've never experienced that hormone. I think the fetus emits that hormone, so you've never been exposed to it. So it can hit you kind of really hard.
I believe it.
I don't know if that's why I also have eaten garbage, no protein, because I can't. So that could very much also be why. And it's funny because you're talking about prenatals. I haven't taken a prenatal since 7 weeks pregnant. Just being real. But I
Yeah.
took it for 3 months. I did prepare for pregnancy. I did take it 3 months leading up to pregnancy. So I think I'm a little like less stressed about it because I think it's most important in those first 6 weeks for like the spinal stuff. So I stopped taking it at 7 weeks. I think once I'm feeling better and able to swallow pills, I will take them again.
It is really interesting because I don't gag at a lot of things anymore, but still taking my, and it's not because they smell bad. Like I know
They
you've
do.
had that issue. I know that they do smell bad. I don't smell them anymore, but like I just ignore that. But it's just every time they go down my throat, I'm like it just so still vitamins get me sometimes.
Yeah, I was throwing them up every time. I was like, this is miserable. I'm just going to stop taking them. And I had researched it. Everyone's like, oh, you're taking prenatal, but people had babies before they
Yes.
had prenatals.
Yeah.
And I had my sister-in-law, she was very sick and was not able to take them, and her baby's fine. So I was like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
And I have pretty like normal levels of everything besides my B12 is a little bit low, but I kind of got it up before I'd gotten pregnant. I'm sure it's low now, but hopefully in the second trimester, I'll be able to take those again. Just being real. And also, any food is disgusting. I don't have cravings. I have none of that. I just have disgust.
And you expect it to be hungry, right?
Yeah, I was like, I thought I'm supposed to like gain weight and like really be hungry. And I was like, yeah, no. 7 weeks. It was 7 weeks hit. All food is disgusting. I have to eat out for lunch every day at work because I can't bring anything for lunch because none of it's going to sound good. Dinner's the hardest meal of the day. Honestly, lunch is easy. Breakfast and dinner. Talking about food makes me want to throw up. I want to throw up right now. It's been rough for me. I will say that. And I had a couple of really good days this week. I was like, it's over. It's over. I'm in the second trimester tomorrow when I'm filming this. When this comes out, I'll already be in it. And I was like, I'm over it. I'm over it. But I've had like 3 bad days. Today's been a midday. The last 2 were awful. So I'm not yet out of the thick of it. But I think I'm on the up because those 2 days were the best days. I felt relief. Food still sounded disgusting,
Yeah.
but I was less nauseous and I didn't throw up, which is a win for me. Because you're like, oh, I've thrown up a couple of times. I think I've thrown up probably 50 times.
Yeah.
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 Because it's been about 6 weeks. Yeah, about 6 weeks. And I throw up normally
3
at
times a
least
day.
once a day. Sometimes the most I've thrown up is 4 days in a day. So I'm thankful I don't have like I don't have it like the hypernemesis gravidium or however you say that, where people like can't keep anything down. I've been managing it with Unisum in B6. I still throw up, but if I don't take that, I throw up a lot more. So I'm sticking to that. If I have an appointment at the end of this month, so if I'm still throwing up, I'll talk to them and see what the recommendations are if it's still this bad. But because I want to be able to eat and take my prenatals and stuff, but I'm hoping I'm on the up and I am not sick my whole pregnancy because I know you were sick your whole first pregnancy. And I've heard that from a lot of people. And I'm like, please no, I can't do this anymore.
I swear by the mindset. Hope for the best, hope for it to change in a few weeks, but expect that it won't because, and it's so crazy because I was rewatching Jacqueline Brooks' like first trimester recap, who is a YouTuber that Liz and I both watch. She's great. But she made the comment in like the trenches of feeling this way, and she's like, I can't live like this every day. And I wrote that down because that's how it feels. You're like, I don't know how I'm going to survive. And somehow you do. And then somehow you want to do it again. And then somehow you do it maybe a third, fourth, fifth time. Who knows? And it's just like, I don't know. Because I know so vividly how you feel and what you're talking about, but you get through it. You just survive somehow.
Yeah. And I'm like so thankful for it. I don't want to like complain because it's like, wow, this is such a gift. And like, I'll do this for a baby. But in the moment, it's like all you can think about. Like, I don't have a cute bump to show off or anything. Like, I don't even feel pregnant. I just feel like I have a stomach flu.
Because I think I first took a picture of my bump at 8 weeks because I swear at 8 weeks pregnant, I felt like I did at 20 weeks pregnant last time. So I definitely, I took a first picture at 8 weeks, but I was definitely showing by 11 weeks. Like I have a pretty definitive picture at 11 weeks. And now I look pregnant. And well, okay. I look pregnant to people who know I'm pregnant, but if this in between is the worst because it's like clearly you're big, But it's like people who don't know, especially at work right now, because I'm wearing the maternity uniform but don't completely fill it out. It just looks baggy and not great, not very professional. And like today I was wearing shorts and a tank top outside and I just was like, I just look like I have a beer belly right now. That's kind of where I'm at. But I'm definitely showing way earlier than I did last time.
Yeah, I'm not showing at all. I think my stomach is smaller than before I was pregnant. I have like no bump at all. And I had a bump before I was pregnant just from being a woman. So I've lost some weight, which is a little concerning, but I heard that's normal. I know you lost weight in your first
Yeah.
trimester. So yeah, I have nothing. Like, it's nothing. I'm
Well,
13 weeks, but I feel like I'll pop towards the end.
yeah. Well, and I feel like you hear this a lot, but people, I definitely feel like it happens one night and you're like, wait, there's a baby in here. Like that happened for my first. This time it just happened right away. But I feel like people wake up one morning and they're like, wow, I popped. Like you hear that. And
Ooh.
it's, I think, I'm curious to see if you experience that too.
I'm not there yet, but maybe eventually. I feel like I'll show around like 30 weeks pregnant or something. I feel like that's how you were too.
Well, yeah. And so Liz and I, to put this in perspective, I'm 5'10". How tall are you, Liz? Yeah. So Liz and I are both tall. And so even when I was like really pregnant, I don't feel like I ever showed that much because there's just a lot of room lengthwise for baby. And my baby was huge.
But you also talked about working out, which even though I've been sick, I've been able to work out like 4 to 5 times a week. This week I've not worked out at all. So this is the one week I gave myself grace. I was traveling the past 3 days and I just didn't feel like it. And I didn't feel like it today.
What
But I'm
does it
gonna get
look
back
like?
on it.
What does it look like for you? Because I know you're also recovering from hip surgery and everything. So, how has it looked? Like, what does your routine look like?
Yeah, so yeah, I'm recovering from hip surgery, which so in the beginning of pregnancy it was kind of harder. I did more Pilates and like lighter weight workouts, and then I just got cleared by my doctor last month to kind of start doing weights, like heavier weights again, and doing a walk to run program. So I've been doing weights like 3 days a week. So I'll just do like a 30-minute. I'd probably do like an upper body, a lower body, and then like a full body workout. And then I'll try to sneak in like a little bit of core on one of my run days. And then 3 days a week, I'll do my walk run. It's really like 20 minutes. And me and Erin are training for a 5K. I don't know if I'll be able to run it all, but we're going to try. We're training. So it's like you walk for a minute, or no, walk for like 4 minutes, run for a minute. So it's kind of a walk, but introducing
But
running
we're at half and
intervals.
half now. I don't know like which week you're on right now, but
I
I
took this
just
week off, but
I finally reached like 2.5 minutes running and then 2.5 minutes walking. I'm like, at least I can call it a run walk now, not just like
yes.
a walk with kind of run sometimes.
Yes. But in the first trimester, that's what we needed. We needed a 1 minute run and a 4 minute walk. That is what, like, going for a walk is rough. And I love
Yeah.
walks. So that's when I know I'm feeling bad.
Hmm.
But yeah, so working up to a 5K, which will be exciting. So it's been fun to get back into running because that is my favorite way to work out. I don't really love lifting, but I know it's good for me. But it is interesting because I feel so out of shape because before I was like, doing 20-mile long runs and training for marathons. And now I'm like, this 1 minute run is really taking me out. So I'm very out of shape, but I'm also pregnant and
Yeah.
I haven't ran since October.
Hmm.
So yeah, but it's been exciting and like something to work towards. And it
Yeah.
always makes me feel better when I
Hmm.
do go outside and do that. And I have thrown up on walks and runs, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
We're getting
Yeah.
it done. But this week I was like, I need a break. Sometimes you need it. And second trimester, we're going to hit it hard.
I feel like since I was in Virginia and well, ChatGPT made our little workout plan for the 5K, which it sounds like 5 years ago, if I were to say that I'm training for a 5K, I would have been like, you have to train for a 5K? Like, yeah, pathetic. Like,
Yeah, I know.
that's
I'm
just
like, what the
that's just
heck?
that's just where I'm at. Because well, and I feel like for me too, I first I've talked about this before, but first baby didn't work out at all. And then I was postpartum. Like I was just a year postpartum, and I just started getting into CrossFit. So like leading up to getting pregnant for 5 months, I think I was doing CrossFit 2 times a week, which was I think great preparation. But I was by no means at tip top shape like going into this pregnancy. I was much healthier in general than I was before, food wise and everything. But I think having the accountability with that knowing that you're doing the same, like run to walk, and that we're working towards a goal has definitely been helpful because there's days when I get home in the afternoons and just do not want to go for a walk, run, but I do it because I got to do it 3 times a week. And I have a few things that I have goals for the second trimester, and one of them is to implement more strength training. I'm doing like before I go to bed at night, I do some pelvic floor stuff and I do some push-ups, like just to move muscles, but I want to be more intentional about some strength because I want to feel strong this labor. And I want to feel strong in the third trimester specifically. I feel like at the end of pregnancy last time, everything just felt weak and I just felt loosey-goosey and just like nothing felt capable of anything. And so I just, before getting pregnant this time, I was doing pelvic floor PT. And so I have a bunch of exercises, some of which I've been keeping up with just because they're so minimal and easy to do in your daily life. But there's some more that I can be intentional about that I want to do. Because even running, running is like the one indicator of my pelvic floor. That's the reason I started pelvic floor PT, is because I couldn't run more than a few steps without peeing myself, just to be blunt. And so the fact that I can run for 2.5 minutes and not pee myself is a huge win, and in itself is strengthening my pelvic floor. So I want to keep doing those exercises because 3 miles is a lot, and it, in comparison. And so anyway, I'm just excited to keep working on it. I feel like I've been getting actually stronger this pregnancy versus weaker, which is a good feeling.
Yeah, I love having the mindset of like, oh, we're training for labor,
Yeah.
because I really want to be intentional about working out and stuff, especially like in the second and third trimester. First trimester, it's like you got to give yourself some grace
Hmm. For sure.
and work out when you can. But that's my mindset going in, is I'm recovering from a surgery. Like I want to get stronger for
Yeah.
labor because I'm definitely not in my best shape right now.
But that's okay. And you're getting there one day at a time, stronger, and at the end of the day, your strength can only get you so far because relying on the Lord's strength in labor is definitely something you have to do. So
Yeah.
anyway, let me see. Another thing I did, this is like a random note. Coffee when I'm pregnant never sounds great. Just recently, which is so kind of annoying because I need the energy. I'm like, I need the caffeine. Like I'm so tired. Like I need something, but coffee just sounds disgusting. Like even today, warm coffee, just still, I can't even imagine drinking it. Like it just
No.
doesn't sound good. I look at my Ember mug. I have an Ember mug, a self-warming mug, and it just sits there on the charger, constantly charged because I just, no thanks. But iced coffee, I've been able to do slightly. I don't drink too much caffeine in general. Like I'm not like
Yeah.
addicted to caffeine, but in the mornings, 5:30 definitely helps a little bit. Iced coffee, but mostly it's just been sugary drinks. Like I think I've gotten Chick-fil-A lemonade like 3 times past couple weeks, just like on a whim because I just want something cold and sweet.
Yeah. Sweet drinks hit so different. And I'm like, this is not good for me, but
But I swear, the mocktail that I posted on our story today, orange juice, sparkling water, and then the Taylor Dukes electrolytes. Like it tastes better than the Chick-fil-A lemonade to me today. So
I don't know if anything can taste better than Chick-fil-A lemonade.
well, because you can't beat just like sugar,
Yeah.
sugar. But for no sugar, it tasted pretty good. So, but one other thing I did before getting pregnant this time that I did not do before getting pregnant last time was I found a care team that I knew that I wanted. And if you've listened to my birth story, if not, you can find it down below. But I did not have a great experience with my OB last time. I had an OB versus a midwife, and so this time I'm going with a midwife because in general they tend to be more natural. They see birth as a just natural process versus a medical one. The only reason you even would need an OB at all would be to have an emergency C-section, which that's not the goal here. So I knew that I wanted to be intentional and shop more for my midwife. I didn't know that I could do that. I didn't know I had an option to change or to ask questions or to be picky. Like it just feels so awkward in a medical care system to feel like you're judging a doctor, but honestly, you're paying for their services, whether it's your insurance or not. Like you're paying for their services, and if it's not what you want, if you don't like have good vibes, like especially in pregnancy, it's okay to go off vibes, kind of. And so, I did my research beforehand, read a lot of reviews beforehand this time, and found the people who I thought I wanted. I also had a list of questions going in, but I had a midwife I had a midwife picked out that I thought I wanted before getting pregnant. And then I also had a doula. Last time, never met with a doula, never had a doula, didn't know what a doula was really until the last couple weeks of pregnancy. And so this time, I know that that is like a must in my brain. I don't even care if I have to pay for it out of pocket because it's just something that I want and that it will be, I think, such an asset in labor this time. So I had both those things picked out before getting pregnant. And then some of the questions that I asked at my first appointment, it is hard because you don't want to come across as super judgy and like you're going through a list of questions. But in a natural way, some of the questions I asked based on my last birth experience, I just said, hey, like the doctor had me be induced last time. At what point during pregnancy would you recommend an induction? And just based on that answer, you can tell if there's someone who is going to push that at some place like 39 weeks, which there's no reason you need to have an induction unless there's actual medical reasons that necessitate that. But she was like, yeah, like there's not really any reason why we'd recommend it. At 42 weeks, we'd have a discussion, but like, I don't think we'd recommend it. And so just that answer made me feel great. Another question I asked was, let's see, I think about the women that she usually sees if a lot of them end up using an epidural or have a C-section. Like I kind of asked about what her patients usually do. I asked just a good list of questions, and I didn't feel bad about being picky and wanting to be well informed about what my midwife's stances were on things this time around.
You definitely did a better job than I. With like first pregnancy, I feel like you're just like,
No, yeah, you don't know what you don't know what you don't know.
no. But I
Like, even
did, yeah.
people can tell you. Like I had so many people last time telling me,
hmm
you can do a home birth, you can do this, you have this option, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna do it. I get referred to. Like,
Yeah. I like I did all the research. It's just hard with TRICARE because you can only do in-network providers. So in here where I live in Virginia Beach, it was really hard because I knew where I wanted to go. It was a midwife place and then the hospital where they gave birth had birthing tubs, but I couldn't go there. TRICARE wouldn't cover it.
mhm,
They weren't in-network. So I did like the second best thing and I found a naturopath OB.
mhm.
So I have had a really, really good experience with that office. I didn't like go through the list of questions with them because I was stressed and scared. But I read the reviews and it says she like supports a natural birth. And then like even when I go in there, they've never pushed medication on me. They don't seem like concerned like that I'm throwing up a lot. They're like, oh, it'll probably get better in your second trimester. Like they don't like we can prescribe you stuff, but we don't really recommend it. So I've I've gotten green flags that way
Mhm.
looking in on it, how they haven't pushed any medication on me. And I really liked the OB when I met her, and the nurse practitioner is super nice. So I've had a really good experience with them. They don't push you to do anything, they just ask you what you want to do. So that was my second best option. And then finding a doula, I did find a doula I really liked, but now I'm having an issue. She accepts TRICARE, but she's not in network. So then TRICARE won't cover it. And so I don't know if I'm just going to pay out of pocket for a doula or try to get referred to a TRICARE doula because I really liked the doula I met with first. So that's where I'm at now. I'm trying to figure that out with insurance.
Mhm. And I don't want to sound like we're complaining about
Yeah.
insurance because like we have great insurance overall,
Yeah.
and we don't have to pay a single penny for
hmm
giving birth. But there are just a lot of things I wish they were more flexible with. So
Yeah.
yeah. Have you been using an app for tracking?
I do the What to Expect app. It has like the fun, like I think, what am I?
Fruits?
I think I'm a lemon. Am I a lemon? Is that 13 weeks?
Makes sense about right?
Yeah, but you can change it. Yeah, I think I'm a lemon, but you can change it. So I'm as big as Captain Hook's inkwell in Tinkerbell.
I don't even know what
I'm
that
as big as
means.
a stopwatch from Polar Express. It's as big as a Pokemon trading card and a
Nice.
baseball and a carrot, a baby carrot.
A baby
So
carrot.
it has like fun, different ones you can
Yeah.
look at. Which one do you
That,
use?
that's what I used the
Okay.
first time around. This time, I'm not going to say I don't care. I just don't. I just I haven't had any need to look. My natural cycles pregnancy version now will tell you like updates with your baby and your body. Just it's nice to have
Hmm.
everything still in there, I guess, because it
Yeah.
does pregnancy and then it does postpartum too. So
Mm.
anyway, yeah, I just haven't really felt the need to like, and even books, like I haven't. Last time I read more books, I'm sure when I get closer to labor, I'll do some review. But when it comes to like, I don't know, changing diapers and taking care of newborns, it's like
You
not
got
that
it.
not that I'm an expert, but it's like that's not what I feel like I need to be spending my energy like doing right now. I'm like I've been there. I know what it's like, but I also, and it's not even because I know everything. Like, that's not why. It's because I know that there are things I can't force
Mm.
that I'll have to learn as time goes on. And then there's going to be differences in this pregnancy, in the birth, in postpartum, the first few weeks, months of newborn life. There's just going to be so many differences and trying to, I don't know, it's good to be prepared, but I also know there's going to be so many things that I'm not going to be able to prepare for completely.
Yeah.
So.
I was preparing like the first few weeks and then week 7 happened and I haven't prepared it for anything since, but I'll get there
Yeah,
again.
I'm sure yes, I mean, and same for me. Like once I get qualified, like that's also, I'm like, I just need life to
Yeah.
slow down a little bit. Like I'll have time for doing some more of that and,
Mhm.
you know, yeah. How did you tell friends and family that you were pregnant?
I feel like it's hard when you don't live close to people. I didn't wait for the 12 weeks. I just waited to tell Instagram when I
Yeah.
got to 12 weeks. I think I mainly had to call people. Like it wasn't a
Hmm.
huge big thing and I didn't film people's reactions.
Hmm.
I just kind of called people and told people. I got a cute little dachshund onesie that I found at Target and then took a picture with Finn in it and I'd sent that to my family. And I think we had sent a picture to Matt's family as well. And then I didn't tell like my extended family till I got the ultrasound at 10 weeks. That's like when
Hmm.
I told everyone else, but I told my family and his family and honestly all my friends that are close, that I talk to regularly because I can't keep anything a secret. I told them probably right
Yeah.
after I found out.
Oh, I think I knew you were taking a test that morning, and so I'm
Yeah.
like anxiously texting you, like, what's the day?
Yeah, I think you texted me and then I called you and I
Yeah.
told you. Because you surprised me.
Yeah.
We have a cute clip that
Oh
we
yeah, I
got
forgot
from the
about that.
podcast. Yeah. But you already knew I was taking a test. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like this time around, like first time, it was a complete shock to us and to everybody. So everyone's reaction were great. Like I got a lot of them on video. This time, nobody was shocked. Nobody, like everyone who knows me knows. Like I'm so open about everything, and like you,
mhm.
I realized first pregnancy that I can't keep a secret. Like, and I want to say that I understand why people wait to tell people, but to be honest, I feel like there's so many more reasons to tell people, especially because of the risk of miscarriage.
Mhm.
I know it's such a sensitive topic, and I know that that is one of the hardest things that people have to walk through. And I can't imagine, like, even sitting here now with a baby in my belly, like that worst fear. But I also know that if I walk through something like that, I want the support of people, and I want to have known that I celebrated the joy of the initial life.
Mhm.
So I, and because a mix of that and because I can't keep a secret to save my life,
Yeah.
yeah, I called my sister knew I was taking a test, like called her, called my parents. I think I tried to video their reactions, but like I never hit record because I'll FaceTime them on my phone and then have my camera record the phone, but I never pushed record. So like
Yeah.
the reactions were better. Well, my parents the first time around were very shocked. So I feel bad. I wanted to like redeem their reaction because I knew that they'd be like expecting it this time and more ready. But yeah, it was still fun telling people. We got Weston a Big Brother shirt and just FaceTime them and waited till they noticed. And it was funny because Nolan's parents like didn't pick up on it for a minute.
Okay.
But it was fun. And then I realized like after I told the friends who I talked to on a weekly basis, I don't know why, but I just forgot something in my brain was like, oh yeah, people know. Like, but Erin, they're not gonna know if you don't tell them. Like, it's not like you're gonna go around, even if you know I'm okay with
Mhm.
people knowing, it's still like you're not gonna just go around telling people that I'm pregnant if like, because that's my news to share. And so I just like forgot for some reason because it's my second pregnancy that like people didn't know. And so like I get to like when I went down to Virginia, I was like, oh, my friends that are here, like I'm really close with them and they don't know I'm pregnant. Like,
I didn't
wait,
tell them.
wait, what? Like, yeah. So it was just really, I don't know. It just kind of, again, I also just feel like this pregnancy's flown by and I just haven't been able to keep up with it. So now that it's on Instagram, I feel like the people who need to know. But
Yeah.
it was definitely different this time around. Like I wasn't as much of a shock for people. So yeah,
I wasn't shocked,
no.
but I was
But your
excited because
reaction was still really good.
yeah, because I knew I was about to start trying. Like I was
Yeah,
actively
yeah,
trying when you told me. So I think that's like
yeah.
what was so exciting about
I
it.
forgot that we have that on video.
Yeah, we can
Cool.
post it.
Let's see what else. How did you feel going into the first ultrasound?
I feel like I had a lot of peace. Like I talked about in the last episode, I feel like the Lord really gave me a lot of peace. I was like a little bit anxious, like right before the appointment. I think everybody is
Hmm.
because you don't know what to expect. I feel like I was 10 weeks at this point. I feel like I didn't really pay attention, like, because I just wanted to like see the heartbeat, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like,
Hmm.
because she put it in there and there's like a whole baby in there. So I was like, well, it's growing. Like, you could see its hands and its
Yeah.
feet and its nose. And you could see like where its eyes were because she got like a little 3D one.
Hmm.
And so that was crazy because I was like, I didn't think there would be that much detail. I thought it'd be like a
Yeah.
blob. So there was crazy how much detail there was at just 10 weeks. And then we heard the heartbeat. We didn't hear it, we saw it. I haven't heard the heartbeat yet.
Hmm.
I've just seen it
Hmm.
in the ultrasound because I had an appointment at 11 weeks and they couldn't get it with the Doppler. But that was super exciting. I feel like the whole time I was just holding my breath. You know, you're like,
Yeah.
is everything okay? Like, I don't know. It looks
Yeah.
fine. But
And it's
yeah.
always awkward because the ultrasound tech, like, it's not their job to tell you what they're
Mhm.
seeing, but a nice ultrasound tech will kind of, if everything's okay and they can't see
Yeah.
anything, they'll. But I wasn't even watching my lady, my guy, my girl. She didn't even have the screen, like the TV screen on. And she had her screen like facing away from me. And I had just talked to my friend who is an ultrasound tech about like what they can share, what they can't. And so I didn't want to like be like probe her and be like, can I look like? But eventually she turned it on. But like for the first like 3 minutes of her doing it, I couldn't see anything, and I was just like, "Girl, like, come on."
Like, was
I,
Nolan there? Was he able to
no,
go? Okay.
he was home with Weston, and he had just had
Okay.
his eye surgery, so he was blind
Oh,
anyway, so he
yeah.
couldn't see anything. And
Yeah.
it's funny because he wasn't there for any of my first trimester ultrasounds either because he was underway on his
Oh,
boat. So,
that's so hard.
um, so it's weird because I like don't even. It's like good but sad. I didn't even notice like I wasn't sad that he wasn't there because he wasn't there for any of the first ones. So I don't know. Um, I didn't have my first ultrasound until 13 weeks, which is later than typically when people have their first ultrasound, just because I was in Yorktown, which was kind of fun because I got to see like baby was bigger
Mhm.
versus just a little bean, which is always so fun to see just a little bean, but like baby was bigger than a bean. Like 13 weeks is pretty solid. And I feel like for future pregnancies, I definitely want to look into just the effects of ultrasounds more and like limit it if I can, because I mean, other than seeing the heartbeat, which is such a reassuring thing to see. Um, I don't know. It's fun to see baby, but I definitely want to look into maybe only having one next time, but
Mhm.
we'll see. I'm excited. I still I don't tell everybody, but you
Mhm.
know the gender of your baby.
Oh yeah, I was gonna share it because
You should share it in like in a
a
fun
cute
way.
way. Okay, maybe I won't tell it on here because I had a funny story about the ultrasound and the gender, but I won't tell it.
Well, I just think it's so you
I have to
how
know.
you found out. But
Oh
like
yeah.
just tell people how you found out.
Yeah, it's so funny because I wanted to do like a cute thing. Matt's siblings were visiting that weekend. This was Monday. It was our anniversary, which is fitting. And I got the blood test on Thursday, so I was like, oh, it's gonna take time. And I'm doing my baby shower at 20 weeks in Indiana, so I wanted to know the gender before because I'm a
Mhm.
planner. So I was like, I'm
Yes.
just gonna get it now because I didn't. That was the best time for me to do my baby shower because I'm traveling and it's the
Mhm.
summer and my mom's off work and my friends are off work. So I was like, I'm gonna do it then. And I wanted to know the gender for it, so I was like, okay, I'll just do the blood test. And so I got the results in on a Monday and I was like, oh, I got a regular blood panel too. So I thought these results were just the regular blood panel because it was 3 days after I got the blood test, pretty much like 3 business days. I was like, oh, no way, it's the test. And also was confused on if they even did the genetic testing because I said I wanted it to know the gender. But then when the lady was taking my blood, I was like, oh, so will I know the gender from this? She was like, no, you find that out in the anatomy scan. But she wasn't a part of the clinic staff. She was just like the person who got the blood. So I think she just didn't know. But then I was like, oh, maybe I'm actually not getting it. Like, I don't know. My nurse practitioner said I was getting it before she like marked it. So I was like, oh, maybe they forgot to do it. I don't know. So I wanted to know if I got the test because otherwise I was going to have to like call and be like, hey, I need to get the test. I need to know the gender. So it said results were available. So I was like, I'm just going to open them, see what this is. Like, it's probably just my regular blood panel. And Matt wasn't even there. I was working out and I saw that results were in. So I was like, oh, let me look at it. I opened it and then it had the gender right there. And I was like, oh, well, I guess we're not doing anything.
Surprise.
Cute. Yeah, maybe I'll do like a cute video to do for Instagram or something.
Yeah,
I'll think
I
of something.
think you should. I'll just say I was shocked. I don't know why
Really?
I don't know why I thought I knew for sure what you were having.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I think some people are really strong one way and some people are really strong the other way. When I was pregnant, I thought it was one gender. But then especially at the ultrasound, like the whole time the baby was on the screen, I kept thinking of as the other gender.
Interesting.
Like, so in that moment, I was like, oh, I think it's that gender because I
Huh.
referred it to it in my head in the pictures as the gender that it was. So that's kind of how I think I knew. And my husband knew all along what it was.
Wow.
So, yeah. So,
Interesting.
yeah. But I'll make a cute video to share.
I just think it's so funny that you found out the gender on accident. I just think I don't know, it's just very, I don't even know what I mean by this, but it's just so
Sure, me.
you. Yeah, it's just, and to not care and just like, because I would have been stressing out that like I accidentally found out, but like, it's
I was kind of
exciting.
happy. I was kind of happy because I didn't really want to plan anything to like.
Yeah.
So I was like, so I just went in the kitchen. I was like, I found out the gender on accident.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like Matt's such a chill guy that he's like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. What is it? Like,
Yeah, that was how it was, and I kind of liked it that way.
well,
I
you
was
sent me a
too sick to
picture.
do anything.
Send me a picture this week of baby clothes you thrifted.
Mm-hmm.
Has that been fun? Like, I know you said you're having your baby shower at 20 weeks. So have you started a registry?
Yeah, I'm done with my registry. I know, but I'm like, we should do a whole episode, I feel like, where we talk about like you, especially being the experienced mom, and then what I have on my registry.
You can
I feel
share
like
and
it'd
then
be
I'll
so
like
funny.
silently judge it.
Yeah, I feel like that would be funny. I just use a lot of YouTube videos. Like, there's a couple YouTubers that I really like, and I really respect their opinion. Like Jacqueline Brooke is one, and Michelle Reed is one. So I like watch my favorite YouTubers' videos. And
I feel like they're my friends. Like they have no idea who I am.
I know.
Actually,
I trust your opinions. So
Michelle Reed and we have actually DM'd quite a few times because our boys are like the same age. So like I always like slide up on her stuff, and I'm like, oh, this made me think of my son, or like, and she's commented back. So maybe I should try to foster that relationship more.
Yeah. I feel like you remind me more of Michelle Reed than I feel like maybe I like more like Jacqueline.
I was literally watching one of her videos today and I was like, wow, like there's so many things she says and like that's just so Liz.
Her registry is basically my registry because I trust Jacqueline Brooke's opinion.
My wedding registry was basically her registry.
Me too. Me and Erin have so much of the
yours.
same. Me and Erin have so much of the same stuff. You can't tell, like the shower curtain we didn't buy this to batch on the podcast. We both had this as a shower curtain, which maybe Jacqueline had it. I don't know if that's how we got it, if we both liked it.
I don't know.
But, yeah, my whole wedding registry was hers, and I like her because she will splurge in the nice things that are worth splurging for, but also save money, like where money should be saved.
Yeah.
So I basically copied her whole registry and like took other opinions from some parents and stuff like that. And then
we had matching strollers.
Yes, we have matching strollers, both from Facebook Marketplace. We got the Mockingbird. I wanted a few strollers, which I can explain in a different video. So I was like, I'm going to thrift two of them. I want a jogging stroller and then the Mockingbird. And then I want more of like a travel stroller / car seat. So I want not the Duna, the Even Flow dual ride shift. I think it's better for taller
tall
people.
girls. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I want that too. But that one I'll get new, and the other two I'm going to try to thrift. Because people use baby stuff for like a year, and then they get rid of it. So I'm like, whatever I don't get on my registry, I'm just going to try to thrift. But yeah, I'm doing a baby shower in Indiana at 20 weeks, which is where I'm from. And then I'll probably do one here in Virginia Beach later on, like probably in the 3rd trimester or something.
Yeah. Man, let's see. Last thing, what has your husband's role been in all this? How has he been since finding out through 1st trimester, all that?
Yeah, it's been super exciting. I feel like it's all new to both of us. Like we both don't really know what to expect, but I feel bad sometimes because Well, once the baby comes, like I'm gonna probably be doing most of the work because I have to feed the baby. Right now, like Matt feeds me, like he's doing everything right now, which I'm so thankful for. Like I could not. That's how when you talk about Nolan being deployed during your first trimester, I don't think I could go through this alone because I can't feed myself. I couldn't do it without him. He's always, if he's here when I'm throwing up, he's always like rubbing my back and he's right there, which makes it a lot easier to throw up, I feel like, when you have someone who's comforting you and he does all the grocery shopping and he cooks all the food and he cleans the house every week because I just like can't do it and he's so understanding about it. I feel like in the beginning it was a little bit he didn't really understand like why I was feeling so bad. I think it's hard for them to understand, but now he understands and he's been the best ever. So I'm excited to feel better so I can be more helpful around the house. And I know the time will come, especially when we have the baby. Like I will be able, that's like when I'll really be able to thrive because that's what I'm here for. But yeah, I couldn't get through the first trimester without him.
Yeah, I don't think that I touched the dishes for weeks. Like, I don't.
No.
I also, with Weston, it's a whole different ballgame because, especially the age that Weston is, he's 16 months today, actually. And he is just so energetic. He's full boy. Like, the other day, he was like standing on the seat of his like little car thing. I'm like, that's dangerous, but you're a boy, and I gotta let you like explore and build your confidence too. But he's just full energy, full go, wants to be outside in the dirt with the balls, with his cars, with his dump trucks all the time. And so when I get home from work, tired, me and Weston hang out, and then Nolan gets home from work, takes Weston outside, and gives me a minute. And like, he just knows exactly where I need the help. It's not necessarily in cooking or cleaning, but it's just like nuanced every single day. He just is able to recognize. And I also want to talk about it too, because, and this could be a whole episode, so I'm just going to briefly mention it and then we'll talk about it later. But I feel like you have to be really careful looking at social media for the example of what to expect from your husband. Because I feel like husbands who are on social media, that is their job. And so their job is to make videos of them bringing their wife whatever craving they're having and cleaning, making a cleaning video because their wife is pregnant. Like, that is their job. And I think it's easy when we're watching that content to forget that that's their job, and forget that our husbands are trying to do so many other things, and to have an expectation of an influencer husband on a normal working, let alone military busy husband. We just have to make sure that that's in check sometimes. And so I know that I sometimes have false expectations of my husband, even though he is the absolute best. And I also appreciate when he pushes me, because there are certain times when I am just being lazy and need to get off my butt, and he tells me that, like, but in a respectful and loving way. So I feel like we should do a whole, like, I could talk about that for a long time and like bring in a lot more biblical points to that. But just something I want to mention, like, just don't compare, especially the husbands, because remember, influencers, that is their job, and they make it look easy, but they spend a lot of time manufacturing those videos and editing, which I totally respect, because it's a lot of work. But yeah, just wanted to put that out there. As we wrap this video, I know one of the big things for me is, since getting pregnant, I have not been reading the Bible, and it coincided with the time that I stopped doing the Bible recap. And so I am really, in the second trimester, looking for a good devotional. I want to get out New Morning Mercies, because that's one that I go back to all the time. But I also just want to find a good pregnancy devotional. If anyone has one of those, drop it in the comments. Because I just want to prepare for labor mostly this time spiritually, and have verses in my back pocket to go to in that time, that tough time. I don't know. I don't have a word for labor.
Trying
like,
time.
Yeah, trying time, like tough time. And so I don't know. I just feel like we talked about this last time, but God has been such a great father, but I have been not a great daughter, and I want to get back on track with that. So that's like number one for me of things I want to do in the second trimester. But is there anything besides reading the Bible that you're looking forward to with the second trimester? Hopefully a little bit more energy, but if not, regardless, other things, obviously baby showers, things like that are fun, but anything else you're looking forward to?
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioning Morning Mercies because I started that today because I was like, I love that devotional, and I feel like it's like what I need in this
I just
season
need
right
structure. I just have to have something, a little bit of guidance. So
yeah, that's how I felt too. So New Morning Mercy started that today. We could do it at the same time on the podcast. It's a great devotional.
It's right on the coffee table in front of me, so I'll get it out.
And then I am excited to go home. I'm going to go home to Indiana for a week and just be with my family, my friends, because they're all off in the summer. So I think that'll be really fun to just like have a break. And hopefully I'll still be feeling good at that point. So I'm going to get to see some people. Um, and then I'm excited to continue running. I'm really excited to run a 5K because that'll be super fun.
Hmm.
And I'm excited to train for that and get up to that because I love running and it's something that makes me feel more like myself in a season where I feel completely not like myself. So
Just
it kind
remember,
of,
you have to run like at my pace. So
yeah, no, I'm not like, I am dying right now. I feel like I haven't ran in like years. So I don't know if I can run the whole thing, but we'll get there. So, but yeah, I'm really excited to get back into that and I'm excited. I want to eat better, so hopefully I
Mhm.
can do that in the second trimester. My energy levels really haven't been that bad. I feel like they were the worst like the first couple weeks I was pregnant and now they've kind of leveled out as I've gotten sick. Like I'm tired, but it's
Mhm.
not really
Yeah.
that bad. More so than not. I think I'm just so focused on like making it through the day without throwing up that
Hmm.
the exhaustion's not that bad. So
Yeah.
I just really want to stop throwing up. That would be
Yeah.
great if I could every day, a few times a week, okay, but every day I would love to stop with that and just be able to be more productive. I think around the house and stuff is
Hmm.
something I'm hoping to do. Just help my husband out a little bit because I do feel guilty that I am very unhelpful.
But hey, that's uh that's why there's two people in a marriage and we're there to lift each other up and makes us all that more thankful.
Hmm.
So, well, thank you everyone for listening to this episode. I hope it was just a fun, casual catch up with Liz and I. I know that we just like to chat with each other, obviously, because we did it for quite a long time today. But if you aren't following us on Instagram, we do want to post a lot of fun videos over there, especially through pregnancy and everything. So you'll have to follow us at mind_your_mission. It'll be down below as well. And with that, we'll see you guys next week. This has been Erin and Liz helping you mind your mission.